Okay, so this video is just going to be used as a test video for how good my mic quality is currently, because I've been futzing around with it and I still haven't been no closer to fixing it. So in OBS, I have the noise suppression on, 3-band equalizer on, gain on, and compressor on. For a 3-band equalizer, my high is at 12.7, mid is at 4.0, and low is negative 16.20. For gain, I have it at negative 0.50, and then compressor ratio is all the way down to 1.0. Threshold is negative 5.10. Attack is 500. Release is 259, and then output gain is negative 16.10. And then I don't have a sidechain / ducking source at all. And those are my settings. So please let me know what I need to do. Turning the mic on and off again doesn't help. Switching the position of the mic doesn't help. Plugging the mic into a different port doesn't help. I've tried everything I can think of. Drivers are fully updated. It used to be just, I plugged it in and it worked beautifully. Now I have an issue. But I decided against that. So instead, I will be doing Koromon. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Yukishi, and welcome to my brand new playthrough, or my next blind playthrough of Koromon. Let's get straight into things, shall we? I know almost nothing about this game. Like, I saw one, maybe 2 videos about the game, but I remember none of the information I was told, I think. Anyway, let's begin. This game contains flashing images that may cause discomfort or trigger seizures for people with photosensitive epilepsy. Would you like to reduce the intensity? Sure. I am going to be going over some shark combos, because I love this deck to pieces. It's a really fun Xyz deck, and it's one of my favorites. So, in front of your screen, I have 5 of your main starting cards, 4 of which are technically better. Because Servicing Big does, while a good card, you want to special summon him after you activated a spell card. Anyway, so 7th Ascension is a consistency piece and allows us to search for 7th Tachyon. So what 7th Ascension does is take 1 card from your deck, either a variant spell / trap, a rank up magic quick play spell, or a 7th spell / trap except itself, and 7th Tachyon fits that criteria, and either add it to your hand or place it on top of your deck. And then a secondary effect is if your opponent controls a monster special summon from the extra deck, you can banish this card from your grave and send a rank up spell from your hand to the grave. This effect becomes that spell's effect when that card is activated. We don't use that secondary effect, but I have seen someone use rank up magic, the 7th one, as an option. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. The main key card is 7th Tachyon. Reveal one number Xyz monster in your extra deck that has a number between 101 and 107 in its name. Add 1 monster from your deck to your hand with the same type or attribute as that monster and the same level as that monster's rank. Then place 1 card from your hand. On top of the deck. Also, for the rest of this turn, after this card resolves, you cannot special summon from the extra deck except Xyz monsters. You can only activate 7th Tachyon per turn. Excuse me. And the card we're typically going to be revealing is Silent 101 Silent Honor Arc. We can also technically reveal Silent Honor Dark as well, since it's a water attribute. But it's level 5, so we pick Silent Honor Arc. And that's where we can either add Buzzsaw Shark, Surfacing Big Jaws, or literally any other of our level 4 monsters. We could, in theory, also add a barrier statue to prevent us from being Nibiru, because Nibiru does hit this deck pretty hard, much like most combo decks. But anyway. Beautiful Princess is one of the best starting cards in the deck, because it can't really be ashed, kind of. When this card is normal or special summoned, you can banish this card immediately. Special summon a level 4 or lower fish-type monster from your deck, except itself. You can only use this effect of Beautiful Princess once per turn. So we normal summon this card, and then immediately activate its effect, and as cost, we banish it to special summon a level 4 or lower fish-type monster from our deck. But the main starting card that we always want to normal summon, no matter what, is Buzzsaw Shark. You can target a water monster you control, special summon from your deck in defense position, 1 fish monster with the same level as that monster, but with a different name. If you do, it cannot activate its effects this turn. Also, you cannot special summon from the deck, extra deck for the rest of this turn except Xyz monsters.
You can only use this effect of Buzzsaw Shark once per turn. And then, if this card is used for the Xyz summon of a water monster, it can be treated as a level 3 or 5 monster. And that's kind of important. And typically, what we're special summoning off of Buzzsaw Shark is Surfacing Big Jaws. Now, notably, while on the field, the monster can activate its effect. However, if we send the monster to the graveyard by detaching it as material and then add it back to our hand within that same turn, we can still activate its effects. So that's a neat workaround. But anyway, Surfacing Big Jaws effect is this. If this card is used for the Xyz summon of water monster, it can be treated as a level 3 or 5 monster, similar to Buzzsaw Shark. You can only use each of the following effects of Surfacing Big Jaw once per turn. During your main phase, if a spell card was activated this turn, you can special summon this card from your hand. Also, you cannot special summon from the extra deck for the rest of this turn except Xyz monsters. If this card is normal or special summon, you can add a fish shark monster from your deck to your hand. So, with that in mind, I'm going to use just Buzzsaw Shark as an example because the other two examples would just be activate Summon Ascension, reveal or add Summon Tachyon, activate Tachyon, reveal 1/1, pick up Buzzsaw Shark, and then normal summon Buzzsaw Shark. Or Beautiful Princess would be normal summon Beautiful, or banish her to special summon Buzzsaw Shark, and then go from there. So, with that all said and done, so to start with, I'm going to normal summon Buzzsaw Shark to my field. Next, I activate his effect, targeting himself to special summon a fish monster with the same level, but with a different name. And I'm choosing Surfacing Big Jaws in defense position. Next, I will build the overlay network with these two, and Xyz summon Bahamut Shark, which requires 2 level 4 monsters, or 2 level 4 water monsters. I tend to put them in the extra monster zone, just so I have space. Next, I'll activate Bahamut Shark's effect. Once per turn, you can detach a material from this card, special summon one rank 3 or lower water Xyz monster from your extra deck. This card cannot attack for the rest of this turn. By this card, it means Bahamut Shark, not the card that you special summon. From here, we are going to detach Surfacing Big Jaws, and that's important. So, we are going to special summon the Virtue Dragon to our side of the field. Not there. Special summon here. Special summon here. Special summon here. Overlay there. And now, since we special summon the Virtue Dragon, if this card is special summoned, you can add a Virtue Stream from your deck to your hand. Virtue Stream is a very good trap card that's basically, for any old Yu-Gi-Oh! Heads, it's an Icarus attack, but for Fish, Sea Serpent, or Aqua monsters. But it also has an additional effect where you can banish this card from your grave, then target one face-up monster on the field. If it is a water monster, the next time it would be destroyed by card effect, this turn it is not destroyed. If it's not, it becomes water. So, from here, we activate the Virtue Dragon's next effect. We can detach a monster from we can detach a material from a monster we control, then we can add a fish, sea serpent, or aqua monster from a graveyard to our hand. So we will detach Buzzsaw Shark from Bahamut Shark as material, so we can then add to our hand Surfacing Big Jaws. Now, notably, we haven't activated a spell card this turn. However, I'm getting there. Next, since we control a rank 3 or 4 Xyz monster on our field, we can special summon Xyz Armor Fortress and overlay him on top of one of these two. I typically tend to do the Virtue Dragon instead of Bahamut Shark because Bahamut Shark has more attack. However, if you are going turn 2, you're probably going to want to do the Virtue Dragon instead. So, we then activate Xyz Armor Fortress's effect. He cannot be used as material for an Xyz summon while he has material, unfortunately. So, once per turn, we can detach up to 2 materials from this card, and we can add an Armored Xyz cards with different names from our deck to our hand equal to the number detached. So, we are going to detach Bahamut Shark, and then from here, we have options. So, if we're going turn 2, we're probably going to want to pick up Reincarnation Unveiling Mail. If we are going turn 1, we are going to be picking up Full Armored Xyz. Since we're going, I'm going to use this as a turn 1, we're going to be picking up Reincarnation Unveiling Mail instead. Okay, so from here, we are going to activate Reincarnation Unveiling Mail, equipping Full Armored Crystal Zero Lancer, which is important. We are then going to use Crystal Zero Lancer as material to go into our Full Armored Dark Knight Lancer, which will then destroy Reincarnation Unveiling Mail. Now, from here, we can actually special summon Surfacing Big Jaws to our field in defense position. With his effect, we can pick up Abyss Shark. Now, it's important you want to pick up Abyss Shark because Abyss Shark will get you Drake Shark as well. However, there's also another thing we can do too. So we will pick up the shark. And then, since if this card is used for the exceed summon of a number monster, it can be treated as a level 3 or 4. If all monsters you control are water, minimum 1, you can special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, you can add a 3, 4, or 5 fish monster from your deck to your hand, except himself. For the rest of this turn, you can add special summon monsters except water monsters. Also, double the first battle damage inflicted to your opponent this turn by your number monster battling another monster. You can only use this effect once per turn. So we can special summon him since we control water, minimum 1. We then activate his effect, and from here, we can diverge a little bit. So we can either add Hydrojet Shark to our hand, or Drake Shark to our hand. Drake Shark, a Shark Drake Xyz monster that has this card as material against this effect. Once returned, you can detach 2 materials from this card, then take a spell / trap on the field, attach it to this card as material. You can only use each of the following effects of Drake Shark once per turn. If this card is added to your hand, except by drawing it, you can special summon this card. This card can be treated as 2 materials for the Xyz summon of a water Xyz monster that requires 3 or more materials. So this is how you're more than likely going to be getting out your Shark Drake. And this card is also how you're going to be able to summon out the Vice as well. But we are going to instead do, and then with Hydrojet Shark, if a water Xyz monster is on the field, you can special summon this card from your hand, but you cannot special summon Hydrojet Shark for the rest of this turn. You can only use one of the following effects per turn, and only once that turn. During your main phase, you can send a fish shark monster or an Xyz spell track from your deck to the grave. You can, and then, if he's in your graveyard, you can banish him, add an Aquajet card from your deck or grave to hand. So we can only use one of the following effects per turn and only once that turn, meaning we can either send a fish shark or Xyz card from my deck to our grave, or we can banish him from my grave to add an Aquajet card from my deck to our hand. So depending on if you're going turn 1 or turn 2, your plays are different. So if you're going, say, turn 2, then you're going to want to use his effects to get Aquajet Surface to your hand, which special summon a level 4 lower fish, sea serpent, or aqua monster from your hand or grave, but you cannot special summon from the extra deck except Xyz monsters while you control that face-up monster. If your opponent controls an attack position monster, you can banish this card from your grave, then target a fish, sea serpent, or aqua monster you control. It gains 1,000 attack until the end of this turn. This card is used as a combo piece for Shark Drake the Vice OTK. What I tend to typically do, though, I'm going to add Drake Shark from my deck to my hand. And since I added Drake Shark, I can now special summon him to my side of the field. Now, I'm going to use a Fish Shark as material, as well as servicing Big Jaws as material. And what I typically do and end on is summon out Stealth Kraken in defense mode. And then from here, I will set my copy of Virtue Stream. Now, Stealth Kraken, it requires 2 level 4 water monsters. All face-up monsters on the field become water. Once per turn during the main phase, quick effect, you can destroy a water monster your opponent controls, and if you do, inflict damage to your opponent equal to half the attack it had on the field. If this Xyz summon monster or Xyz summon card is destroyed, you can special summon Stealth Kraken spawns from your extra deck up to the number of materials this card had. Then you can attach up to 1 water monster from your graveyard to each of the special summon materials. So typically what we're going to do is our opponent normal summons a monster, we immediately destroy it. But if Stealth Kraken gets destroyed before then, and the opponent has 2 cards, we can activate the Virtue Stream, targeting Stealth Kraken to destroy 2 of their cards. And since our Stealth Kraken is destroyed, we can special summon 2 of our spawns from our deck to the field. But in most cases, we're only going to have the 1. But that's just one of many combos you can do with Shark. Hopefully the audio was good for this video. I'm hoping, anyway. I will listen back to it, but I'm still going to upload it regardless because I want to hear what you all have to say. Focus only on how good the mic quality is. Don't focus on the combos and more combos and all of that other jazz. I do plan on making a big comprehensive guide to Shark later down the road once this microphone quality gets fixed, all right? Granted, I may end up just recording with my phone anyways. But anyway, once again, only talk about how good the mic quality is, how bad it is, or how I can fix it. To reiterate, I've already checked the drivers. Everything's updated. Plug in, plug out. I always have it plugged out. I only plug it in when I need to use it. Putting it into different ports doesn't help or do anything, so I'm at a loss. But anyway, I've been Ukishi, and I'll see you next time for the proper shark deck tutorial and my shark deck in general. Later.